And this is about the impact of low self-esteem. Again, if you want the course material, you can get it from the Center for Clinical Intervention out of Australia. They have a website and you can print out whatever PDFs you want. So low self-esteem can have an effect on various aspects of a person. Okay, a person with low self-esteem probably says a lot of negative things about themselves. That's probably pretty self-explanatory up until now. They might criticize themselves, their actions and abilities, or joke about themselves in a very negative way. So they might criticize themselves on the whole. They might criticize their actions, so what they do and their abilities, what they can do. Or they joke about themselves, so, self-deprecating humor. I know I've been guilty of some of this stuff. They might put themselves down, doubt themselves, or blame themselves when things go wrong. So again, the self-deprecating talk, negative self-talk, doubting themselves. So even before something has been proven to work or not work, they'll just doubt that it's going to work. Or blame themselves when things go wrong. So even if something is going wrong through no fault of their own, they're going to automatically put the blame on themselves. So often they might not recognize their positive qualities, all right? When compliments are given to them, they might brush such comments aside or say it was all luck, right? Oh, no, I just got lucky that time or whatever. Or, oh, it wasn't that big a deal. And then they'll go into, and this is what went wrong. And they'll have a very detailed list of everything that they feel went wrong or is wrong with them, but anything that is even close to a compliment, they'll brush off. Now, the compliment and whatever insults around are about the giver. However, I think compliments make our lives and our self-esteem better than insults do, right? And self-criticism. Okay. So people with low self-esteem might expect that things will not turn out well. So again, even before you take on a project, let's say, you're going to expect it to fail. So sometimes it will bring about what's referred to as confirmation bias, which is essentially self-fulfilling negative prophecy, right? They might often feel sad, depressed. So a little slight distinction there between sadness and depression, right? But mood depression, okay. Anxious, they might feel guilty, ashamed, and we know that guilt and shame very often travel together, and anxiety right along with it, right? Frustrated and angry. So frustration and anger also tend to travel together, even though there are nuances between the two. They might have difficulty speaking up for themselves and their needs, avoid challenges and opportunities. So both, they will avoid something that challenges their abilities, and they will even say no to an opportunity being handed to them, okay? Self-sabotage, or be overly aggressive in their interactions with others. So this is called negative compensation or decompensation. Low self-esteem can also have an impact on many aspects of a person's life, of course, but that includes work performance, school, if the person is still in school, and they might even achieve less than they are able to because they believe that they are less capable. So we're going back to our basic beliefs or our core beliefs about ourselves. They might avoid challenges for fear of not doing well, okay? They might work extremely hard, actually, and push themselves to do more because they believe they need to make up for or cover up their lack of skill. So even though it's a good thing to do more, right? you don't want to push yourself, because that actually has a negative connotation, because that's like you're beating yourself up, expecting the negative. And people with low self-esteem might find it hard to believe any good results they get are due to their own abilities or positive qualities. And I know for myself, I can list a number of things that fit the criteria that I just read, that would indicate that I have low self-esteem. So I have work to do too. And at some point, I'll probably read the result of these exercises that I've been giving you guys, because I'm doing the same exercises. So in their personal relationships, people with low self-esteem might become upset or distressed by any criticism or disapproval. Okay, so being thin-skinned, all right, or bend over backwards to please others, so being a people pleaser. Be extremely shy or self-conscious, or even avoid or withdraw from intimacy or social contact altogether. So either being impaired by your shyness, or not even trying, just withdrawing and sort of avoiding the possibility of something negative happening with an interpersonal situation. So they might also be less likely to stand up for themselves or protect themselves from being bullied. So it's kind of like learned helplessness. You just accept it. So you're not protecting yourself from bullying, criticism, or abuse, because you've just sort of expected the worst to happen. So you're going to sort of metaphorically or even physically lie down and take it. So people with low self-esteem might not engage in many leisure or recreational activities, as they might believe that they do not deserve any pleasure or fun. And you see that in eating disorders too, where a person will feel not worthy of eating, so they're depriving themselves out of a deep shame or feeling of not being worthy of eating. They might also avoid activities where they could be judged or evaluated in some way, such as competitive sports, dancing, arts and crafts classes, or participating in any type of competition or exhibition. So even though maybe we don't want to be catty and competitive as women, or just, in general, still we can't shy away from being in a competitive environment for this reason, low self-esteem, okay? So personal care might also be affected. People who do not value themselves might drink excessive amounts of alcohol or abuse drugs. They might not bother to dress neatly, wear clean clothes, style their hair, or buy new clothes. So even if they have the means, they won't really bother, because they will feel that they're not worth it. Okay. Sorry. Now, on the other hand, they might try to hide any inadequacies by making sure that every detail of their appearance is attended to, and not allow themselves to be seen by others unless they look absolutely perfect. So sometimes we'll see high trait narcissism in somebody, and they'll use the meticulous dressing and the meticulous self-care and grooming as an armor. So I'm going to leave off here, and I will see you next time. I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but next time, please have your journals handy, okay? Because I'm going to be asking if you have problems with low self-esteem, which quite frankly I do, so I'm pretty sure most of us do, right? Take a few minutes to write down how having low self-esteem has affected your life. But that's for next time. All right, cats. Thank you.